Hey, Raindrops. On today's episode, Reality with the King, I got Alexis Jansen back to recap OC. Hey,
Woo!
Alexis.
Hey, it's the Jansons. We're the Jansons.
I know. Instead of Jesus jugs, it's Jansen jugs, okay? And I'm filling in the.
I
My
look
cup
at
runneth
you.
over.
You literally are you're definitely doing the Alexis Jesus Jugs thing. Hey, by the way, it's JJ and JJ, so it's fine. Jesus Jugs, John Jansen, it works. Although our logo's AJ, so yeah, that doesn't work. So we'll keep it AJ. Alexis Jansen.
Wait, let me see that necklace. That's so
That was our logo through
beautiful.
the whole wedding and everything. That he had the A with the J wrapped around it. So yeah, it's that was our
Oh,
little
I
yeah
love it. Well,
yeah.
before we get
Thank you.
started, I just want to, I'm so happy for you and John. How is married life, Alexis?
It
Are you still in
definitely
bliss?
yes, it is. I mean, it's crazy because it really does feel different. Like I told John when we first started realizing we were in love, we don't need to get married. We can just stay, fiancéed. It's fine. And then we decided, obviously, no, we want to do the whole thing. And when we went before the friends and family and God, it is a different feeling. You do feel different. The sex is better. The when you wake up in the morning, you're like, okay, no, this is mine forever. Yeah, I know. Could how did it get better, Carlos? We already had like the top over the top 10, off the charts. But yeah, it
I
just
love
does
a
it.
top.
Everything is different. Everything is
Yeah.
different. So feels amazing. He's my person.
I listen. I can tell by the glow you have, and that makes me so happy because you would think you had a little bit of a space cake, but it's not weed. It's love, and that's
No,
all you
honey,
need.
it's my light, honey. Let's be real. It's this. That's my glow. Okay.
Look, look.
My
This is my.
travel light. I'm like, I'm not vain enough to take my big one, so I ordered this on Amazon, and I'm going to Missouri, and I still have to podcast a couple times, so I'm bringing my light so my wrinkles look less and my bags look less because I'm not spending
Oh.
a whole lot here.
No, you
See,
look
we start
good. You
out
look
fun.
good.
We start out fun, Carlos.
We still have fun, and I can't wait to talk to you about this episode because look, let's get right into it. Our friend Tamra Judge, I was shocked at the scene between her and Eddie, where I just thought like, okay, this would be a nice dinner between the two of them. Maybe she's like, setting up that she's going to go to Amsterdam, which is Heather's trip for this particular season. And then all of a sudden, they talk about their lack of communication and how, they have like one good fight every 6 months. And all of a sudden, Eddie reveals, like, yeah, when you're drunk, and then Tam was like, "Do you think I have a drinking problem?" And he's like, "I think it's not good for our relationship." I was I was shocked by that revelation because I did not see that one coming. What about you?
Well, I was really shocked at it, but you know what I loved about it, Carlos? I have a different feel on it. I mean, obviously, when they've been married like how many over a decade now, so it's like okay, you're gonna have qualms, you're gonna get on each other's nerves, and the way he eats gonna bug her, and the way he eats is gonna bug her, and the way she acts if she's had two cocktails instead of one is gonna bug him. You're gonna have those things to get through in life. But what I loved about it is it's showing real, like a reality, like the reality behind the relationship. I loved that it was like look, we do have a good marriage. And when you see them, you know how there's couples, Carlos, where you see a couple in your circle and you're like, they just are off. They're just not
Yeah.
happy. They don't have that glow. Eddie and her still have that glow and are still madly in love. You can tell. But it is showing the reality of it ain't perfect all the time. You're gonna have some fights. So I just loved that the way it ended though really made me happy because he's like, like that. He did that little funny thing with his hands, and then she laughed, and he's like, "There's that laugh again," and she laughs about. I just loved. I was like, "That's true. That's the truth. Like that is them." But they've worked through it, and I'm sure they went home that night, and maybe she wasn't drinking. She had soda water and cranberry at that dinner. So here's the other thing, Carlos. Though she this whole season she was going through the ringer with Teddy, and the fact that the cast members were not wrapping around her with everything she was going through. Nobody was on her side, so she didn't have an ally or full support at all filming, and she still met put her foot forward and did her job. So that I have to appreciate. So I feel like a lot of the strain you see even on her and Eddie's relationship was probably from the fact that she was at gutter low. Like she needed someone to help fill up her
Yeah.
tank. with the castmates. I truly feel that because I know what it feels like to be on the island. And she was on the island last year with me. We were in freaking Timbuktu with the rest of the cast over here. And in this season, nobody wrapped around her at one of the hardest times of her life. So
Yeah, no, I agree with you. And listen, one thing that I believe we all know is that look, relationships are hard, marriages are harder because you do have this commitment. You take a vow to be there through sickness and health and rich and poor and and all the other stuff. And when it comes to communication, I thought it was interesting that Tamara, who I consider to be a talkative person, that in her relationship, in her marriage to Eddie, how she admitted that we don't communicate well and that we do have like one big argument every 6 months and we kind of argue about all the stuff we kept inside. What would you say, when you're now married to the love of your life, what would you say is the secret to communicate well when you are in a marriage? Because I do think that's one of the problems a lot of marriages, face.
it really is. And if I hadn't been through 14 years of marriage with my first marriage, I'm sorry, 14 years of counseling in my first marriage, I wouldn't have all these tools in my tool belt because counseling really and therapy is so positive. It's such a good thing, even in life and even with friends and any relationships that you have. And the one thing that my therapist always taught me is, well, first of all, you have to communicate. And I do believe Tamara when she said, and Eddie, that he agreed, when she said, I hold things in, I don't get them out. And then that's when they have the 6 month blow up where they talk about it all and get it all out. That's not a healthy way to go. But if it works for them, they can keep working on trying to not shove things under the rug is number one. You got to communicate it through when it happens, I think is the key. But here's the other key to that. The other key to that is if you're not seeing eye to eye, and John and I've had this happen a couple times already in the 2 years we've been together, where I'm just ready to talk it out. I want to talk it out. I want to get it out. I'm like, no, and he goes, Alexis, you're the one that taught me. Put it on the shelf. We're going to put it right there. And tomorrow or the next day, when we're both calmed down, we've processed the argument and we can pull it off the shelf and we're going to address it after 24 hours or when the time feels right. But right now we're missing each other. Like the wires are going astray when we're trying to connect and communicate. And I think that is so key. Put it on a shelf. Doesn't mean you're neglecting it. Doesn't mean you're going to bed mad. It's up there and we'll revisit it. I think that is like one of the biggest things. And I even got mad at Johnny when he made me do that. I said, that's my advice, but I don't want to use it right now. Well, no.
That's good. I have to use that one day.
Yeah.
That's really good advice.
I think it would help.
I
I
like
think
that
it would
one.
help Tamara. I'm going to tell her next time we have coffee. We're not going to have
No,
a martini because Eddie doesn't like us. We're going to have coffee.
no, baby, have coffee. That's all the caffeine that my girl needs.
Right
So
now it's a Red Bull.
we did see the girls together. And listen, I will say this: Emily is becoming the pot stirrer this season. I
Oh,
have to.
it's been
Oh,
every season, Carlos. I'm not the only one that sees this, honey bunny. Come on. Her middle name is Emily Pot Stirrer. Hyphenated.
not the pot that called Emily Black. I love it. I love it. I love it.
And nothing's wrong with it. Just own it. I mean, it doesn't matter. You are the pot stirrer. It's okay. Own it and wear it and proud. Put your hat on and go.
I actually agree with you. Listen, I enjoy it and I think she should own it the way that they want Tamara to own her being one as well. But it's sort of like, so is Emily. Emily is activated. And while the girls were together, she did ask Shannon if she felt that Tamara was being shady, bringing up the dead. And all of a sudden, Shannon's like, look, I don't want to deal with it. And it's apparent and it's evident. We talked about this again that Shannon does not want to resolve the friendship she had with Tamara. And it's pretty obvious. And then Tamara all of a sudden is like, asking Shannon if she is a C word because Shannon was like, to be screamed the C word 18 times across the table is just something she can't deal with. And then Tamara was like, well, are you one? Which I'm like, look, Tamara, that's not going to help the case by you repeating the C word that annoys her. But I think for me, Shannon and Tamara will never be friends. And to me, it's evident. Although Tamara's trying, Shannon doesn't want it.
Well, can't they just be work associates though? That's the thing. And I think that's what Tamara's been trying to do all season. I think that scene showed that Tamara's just like, now I'm done. I'm F it. You know, like I've tried and Shannon's not having it even for a work of friendship. Because I remember I told you a couple podcasts ago when we were recapping one of the episodes, I said, Tamara doesn't want to be friends with Shannon where she's gonna call her up and say, hey, you wanna go get a cup of coffee? She doesn't want that. She just wants to be able to do her job, which is what your job is to entertain America and be able to be civil in a working environment. And for some reason, but here's the deal about Shannon. It's evident, and I haven't watched all the episodes or seasons that she's been on. I've, really just caught up last season. I got to know a lot about her, but and then this season you're seeing it again, and I'm assuming it was her persona before, just her personality. But she holds grudges and she doesn't let go. Like I know we're going to go to the Jen
Mhm.
thing about how Jen can't go to my wedding and all that. I know we're going to get there, but it's exactly the same immaturity and holding resentment and bitterness. I mean, if Shannon really is the happiest she's ever been, like she says she is, all these things she says on the show, I'm the happiest I've ever been, if she really is, why does it matter who Jen is friends with? And why does it matter if you can not, why can you not just push everything aside and just do your job with Tamara? That's what that scene really needed to happen is I think Tamara was just, she's like, I'm done now. I've tried 5 times, several avenues. Shannon's not having it. So now, are you a C word? I think that's Tamara was just, but her emotions get the best of her a lot this season. I can see it. Tamara's. I can see it when
Mhm.
she's filming because I think she's just emotionally just done, both from crying about Teddy and worrying about Teddy and trying to visit her every time she can in between all the filming. I mean, that's the stuff behind the scenes that people don't know.
Yeah, no, and that's something that she talked a lot about on her podcast too, while she was filming and going through this. That what Teddy was going through obviously was heart wrenching for her. And look, when it comes to Shannon, like I said, I just think Shannon doesn't want to be friends with Tamara, and guess what? That's okay. I think no one's forcing you guys to be friends, but what I will say is what you said. You have to sometimes do what's best for the show because it is a job, and you do your best to understand the assignment of, listen, off camera, are we going to be talking like we did 15 times a day? No, but are we able to at least say, look, we are great as a pair when it comes to this show, so let's do our job, let's be cordial behind the scenes, but the idea of us being besties just isn't there anymore. And
That's
I would rather Shannon say that.
Yeah, and I think that's what's going to be interesting next year when they recast Carlos, or next season. I mean, for season 20, I think it's going to be interesting because it's like there are several people, including Gretchen and Shannon, who seem like, and even Tamara regarding Gretchen. There's just, I mean, like even Jen can at least say, I'll do my job in film. I feel like between Tamara, Shannon, and Gretchen, there's something where certain ones are going, I'm not going to film with this person. What does that do? That alienates, and then it's like, what is production going to do? What is Bravo going to do to fix that? Because it isn't fun for the viewer to know that there's no way that these girls can move forward and work together. We have to be able to see that they can at least do their job and not. I mean, I don't know. I'm interested to see where it's going to go next season.
I am too. And I think listen, I'm a producer. If I was the decision maker on who comes back, I would not have Shannon come back full time. I think for me, the Shannon shtick is up.
That's
I
the word
think
I use. I use that all the time. That she's got a
you
shtick.
do.
She's got a shtick. I say that all the time because even like her falling out of the van and wiping things off of her chest, and she's always like just shoveled. I got honey in my hair. It's like, what are you, girl? How are you gonna get a man acting like that? Like nobody wants that tornado around. It's like just. And by the way, Carlos, she can't keep John's name, my husband's name, out of her mouth, and she's talking about him farting. Yes, I do have a problem with this. And can we take a moment to pray for her, real quick? Dear Lord, dear Heavenly Father. But I'm not kidding. I'm so over it because it's like he
Wait,
broke my he
Alexis, say the prayer. I was waiting for you. Go ahead.
oh, dear Heavenly Father, please. I didn't really have one, but okay, here, let me go. Dear Heavenly Father, can we please just give Shannon some peace of mind that her ex dumped her and she can't get over it, and now he's married to me and she needs to find a new storyline. Please, in Jesus' name, help her get the strength to do that. Amen. Okay.
Amen.
Anyway, this is what I will say. Thank you. Maybe God will work a little bit on her. But okay, first of all, do you fart? Yeah. I've been with a man 2 years. He has never farted in bed or even in daytime. Like, I'm like, maybe he was subliminally like trying to get rid of you, and that's why he did that. But also, I think she's projecting, Carlos, because here's why. She's the one that has crapped the bed several times, awake and asleep. She peed on a curtain, okay, instead of a toilet a couple times drunk. So if you want to say stupid things about my husband, the truth is going to come out. Now, if she had said he snores, he snores. If she would have said that, I would say, yeah, he does sometimes. And so does my Frenchie. And so I get lulled to sleep by two snoring snooze fests. And it's like, we move on. But like, just keep his name out of your mouth. You act like you guys were married. You dated off and on and had a tumultuous relationship for 3 years. You're not, don't compare him to David or your husband. Lose his name. He's married now. Okay, that's done. I had to get that off my chest because I am over it. Like, I don't know if she thinks that she's insulting him and embarrassing him, but she's embarrassing herself because she can't get his name off of her mouth. Like, stop using his name. He, okay, that's it. We can move on to everything else, but
I do want to ask
yeah,
you this before we move on to everything else.
I need a drink of
Ba-
water after that.
I
I'm
have a
parched.
I have a prayer cloth and holy water waiting for me. It's communion time. Um, Based on your assessment, and it just hit me, and I never thought about this fully until you ran down how she just can't keep his name out of her mouth. Do you think, and we're going to get into the ultimatum she pretty much gave Jen, which I was like, motherfucker.
You think I just went off now? Wait till we get to that part of it,
Uh,
okay?
babe, babe, I was
Maybe I need to drink a
shaking.
Red Bull for that. So go
I
ahead.
was, I was shaking. But I want to
What were
ask
you
you
going to
this:
ask me though?
do you think Shannon is still in love with John?
I think she's pissed off because he dumped her and then married the hotter, younger cast member. And I think that she's bitter and can't move past that. And it's just like she holds grudges with like, why can't Jen? If you're a mature, happy 63-year-old woman, why can you not move past the fact that if Jen talks to me yesterday and goes to coffee with me, and then she hangs out with you, why is that a problem? It's a problem because you're your own problem. She's her own worst nightmare. She can't move past John. I'm sure she still can't move past David, but John just happens to be the unfortunate, innocent bystander that came in between, David and the divorce and the affair, and then she dates John, who dumps her, and she knew along the way that he probably wasn't going to stay with her forever. They never talked about marriage. They never talked about moving in. They never talked about finances. There was not the relationship he was trying to get out of. I think that she is so bitter from all of that that it's just like she can't lose his name. I don't think she's still in love with him because how can you be in love with someone who doesn't love you back? Or I don't know. I maybe she is, but I just think it's that she just hates herself. And so she takes that on everyone else and puts these ultimatums on people when you're a 62-year-old woman. It's just would you do that, Carlos? Like I have friends that don't that this friend doesn't like this friend. And I just say when I'm having a Christmas party, guess what? A is coming and so is B. If you don't want to be there, it's your decision not to come. And if B doesn't want to be there, it's his decision or her decision not to come. But I'm not going to be the immature one trying to keep between you two. I love you both. Everybody's welcome. If you want to come, great. If not, it's on you guys. That's the mature way to handle it. That's why I could be friends with Jen and Tamra. It's not an ultimatum. It's just Tamra, don't talk about Jen to me. Jen, don't talk about
Mhm.
me to Tamra. Tamra about me to me. That's it. I don't. I'm so confused by how older women can act like that. It's like something you would do when you were 12 and your mom has to sit you down and teach you. Maybe your mom didn't sit her down.
I mean, look, I'm not going to argue with you when it comes to that. I was floored because listen, let's have a real conversation. The biggest thing for me that highlighted the ultimatum was the fact that I agree with Tamara 100%, and I also think Emily even agreed with Tamara, if I'm not mistaken,
Hmm.
that Shannon's liking to Jen is just to piss off Tamara. That's all it is.
And I never thought that.
That's it. Yes.
I never thought that till I heard that on this episode. It was never even, it never crossed my mind. And then when Tamara said that, I was like, actually, yeah, it kind of is because I filmed last season and Shannon didn't give two craps about Jen last season and they weren't even very good
No.
friends at all. So yeah, it is kind of like, let me just find another, nail to put in Tamra and turn the nail in Tamra's heart because yeah, let me just find her worst enemy, and so I'll choose Gretchen and I'll choose Jenn. But at least, Carlos, do you feel like this? I wonder what the viewers think.
Go ahead.
I feel like with Jenn and Tamra, they get the assignment and they're doing their job, even though they don't love each other. There's a beef there. We all know it, but they're able to put on their big girl britches and do their job.
Yes.
It's not possible with Gretchen and Tamra, and it's not possible with Shannon and Tamra. Do you feel that or see that?
Absolutely. No, listen,
Okay.
1000%, 1000%. Let me tell you something.
Okay.
The reason why a show like Salt Lake City works is because they fight a lot, but they find a way to sort of get back together. The same thing with Beverly Hills. The thing with the Beverly Hills cast, Alexis, is they don't isolate one person. Is even when Erica Jane was going through the most horrific times in her life with a divorce from Tom and the fraud and all of the lawsuits and all of that shit, there were half of the cast who believed Erica Jane was guilty. Lisa Rinna and I'll say Kyle. Lisa Rinna Kyle was really like on Erica's side, but they also had questions. But it wasn't like Sutton and Garcelle said, we're not filming with Erica Jane because we don't want to be associated with somebody who's associated with fraudulent activities or charges. The thing with OC that I do not want it to turn into Jersey, for example, is the fact that you have to find a way to go along, to get along. And that's the reason why when Tamra came back, I'll say this and I'll say it again. When Tamra was fired that season, and Heather came back and they wanted Heather to be the queen bee of the show, and it flopped, right? Emily and Gina shit talked Tamra in interviews that entire season she was off, only for the girl to come back and they're like, fuck. At least Emily and Gina found a way to be like, let's at least work with Tamra to do what's best for the show. And that's why Emily and Gina, to me, are enjoyable to watch. The thing with Shannon is Shannon, and listen, I'm not trying to pile on Shannon, but I just got to be honest here. And listen, I'm only talking about her based on the show.
Right now, you can pile on her because guess what? I have kept my mouth shut, and the Cookie Monster better keep John's name out of her mouth, okay? Because there's going to be some truth told because I do have facts and I do have proof of stuff, which we won't name how. We all know after last season, but it's like I don't have to shut up, but she better shut up with my husband now. Thank you. Okay. So go ahead.
No, listen, honey. Stand by your man. Tell me why that. I'm with you. Right? So I'm not gonna argue with you on that one either.
Like Tamra at the garage with her boyfriend.
Right.
Am I reminding you of that right now? I kind of feel like I have a knife in my hand and I'm like,
no, that is so funny for the Tamra thing in the garage. The thing is this. To see Shannon give the ultimatum to Jenn was shocking. What was even more shocking was Jenn saying, I did receive a save the date from Alexis. I like Alexis. I do consider her a friend. We have a good time. We go have coffee, whatever. And when she said, but in order for us to not be in a bad place, I would not go to the wedding. And Shannon says, thank you. I was like, what the fuck is happening?
First of all, that is you're running both lanes there. It's like that's not really making a stance because if you really do say you like me and enjoy me, then you don't go to Shannon and say, but I won't go to her wedding. But here's the reality behind everything now, Carlos, because that scene, I then knew what was happening because Jenn and I talked all the way up until like April something, because I went back on my text to look after I saw that scene. We talked all until about April or May. Like May is when my save the date went out. Like all the way up. And then I send the save the date out. And then there's 3 weeks that, I mean, we talked 25 minutes on the phone when I'm in Beverly Hills trying to get my gown. And I had a debacle with the first designer. And then I had to find another designer. Like she's helping me all along the way and talking to me. Okay. And then she's texting back and forth all the time too. Yes. So then May comes and I send the save the dates. Okay. Then the 3 weeks come where there's like, I've texted her a couple times, nothing. I'm like, oh, I know that, things get busy. They're probably traveling. I don't know. And then I decide it's 5 months before my wedding, and I was going in for my emergency boob surgery, because I had the ruptured implant. And her and I would, when we would have cramps, we'd call the other one and go, "You have cramps right now. I'm so sorry." Or, "I'm in car." We talked it through everything. She did not respond after she knew I was in Beverly Hills that day going in for my surgery. Not even the next day. I let a whole nother 4 days go by. Not a checkup, not a call me, nothing. So this is where she was distancing herself because she knew she'd said that on camera. Okay, this is just where my mind is going. She knew she'd said that on camera. So then she's like, I do have to kind of distance myself from Alexis now. So then I send her the text and I disinvite her. And she was shocked. She was like, "Why are you disinviting me?" And I'm like, "Are you cuckoo? Like, you haven't responded. I just had surgery. You didn't check up on me. You haven't texted me back in 3 weeks when we were talking almost every day. Text prove it. My text chain proves it. And the phone calls if I would have kept the call log. But like, we talked almost every day, every couple days. And you didn't check up on me. You don't get a seat at my wedding, which is a very limited guest list. And I have 25 people still wanting to come that I want to invite. So now you're moving off, and I'm inviting 2 more that are going to take your place." Okay. It's total logic to me. Now I understand why it was going on, because Shannon was in her ear and Jen's like, "I have to film with Shannon. I don't want to tick her off because it's a nightmare to film with people. I've got to have allies. I don't like Tamra. I've got, so I now I understand it all from behind the scenes. But it sucks because Jen and I are friends and I do care about her a lot. I love her and Ryan. I think they're a great couple. I don't have anything negative to say about Jen except for that was weak, and she should never have allowed Shannon to scare her from coming to my wedding, because she missed a fabulous event and she should have been there. And that's on her. But she wasn't being honest when she said, "I'm not the kind that's going to allow someone to dictate who I'm friends with," because you sure as hell did, baby cakes. You sure did. You let Shannon get you canceled from my wedding list, which is sad. It's sad because that was an event of a lifetime, and it's a once in a lifetime. So it's sad, honey.
No, let me ask you this, because I actually feel sad right now. Was that hard to watch?
Yeah, because then it all made sense, because nothing made sense before. And then I'm doing the timing, and I'm like, I wonder if they were on a trip back then. So then I text Tamara, "When did you guys go to," or talk to Tamara, I'm like, "When did you guys go to Amsterdam? What month was that?" Exact same timing, exact same timing as she was distancing me. When I go
Woo!
back to my text exchange, that 3 weeks that she wouldn't answer and went kind of cold on me was that. I mean, now we've talked a ton since then. And sorry, Shannon, but we do talk, and she is my friend, so I don't know what she's telling you, but I'll just
Wait,
be the
wait,
honest
you
one here.
wait, you and Jen are got past that. You're talking now.
Yes, we are texting now back and forth. She texted me on my wedding day. Listen to this. She texted me on my wedding day and said, "I hope I know we don't listen to all the noise, and I know you're going to be a beautiful bride today. Wishing you the best," or whatever. And I text her back and I said, "Wow, that means the world to me." And something like, "You know what? You should be here. I wish that there was a time when we didn't have space come between us." Had not seen this scene, by the way. Had not seen this episode, because remember I got married 2 weeks ago.
Yeah.
So I text her and I'm like, "You know what? You and Ryan really should be here. I wish we'd never had the space, the distance come between us, but I get the world we live in, and this TV show's rotten sometimes. But you should be here. If you want to slap on a wedding outfit and you and Ryan want to come, let me know. I'll make sure there's space for you." Because I would have just scooted a couple people over and made the 8 top a 10 top, because we had a couple of 8 tops and not all of them were 10. So I'm like, we'll just squeeze them in. But then, she's like, "No, I'm in San Diego, but thank you so much. And, I'm glad that, and I just, we are on good terms. It's like we can squash that. But I'm not going to tell you that scene didn't hurt me, because that made it all came to light then. I understood why. And I wish Jen would have just texted me back then and said, when I was can't when I disinvited her, I wish she would have just said, "I'm sorry, Shannon did get in my ear. I am feeling torn." That would have made me respect the situation a little bit more. But I didn't get that. Instead, I got, "Why are you disinviting me? This is odd. Why are you, that's an odd thing to do." And I'm just like, "No, no, it's 5 months from my wedding and I haven't talked to you in 3 weeks. Not by having someone come to my wedding that doesn't reply after I have surgery. Thank you. No." So
Well,
anyway,
well, well, well. Now it's interesting because the whole time she's pissed that you just invited her, she already told Shannon she wasn't coming. Ain't that
right.
crazy?
But now it's all making sense because of this episode. Now it's
Yes.
all, it sucks. It did suck. It hurts. It hurt my feelings a lot.
Okay, I have to ask you this because you know me, I'm very honest with you, and I never want to put you in a comfortable situation, but I got to be real.
Okay.
When I saw that scene and I saw Jen tell Shannon, pretty much, I'm not going. I gotta, be loyal to you, pretty much. It reminded me of Heather's excuse of not going to your wedding and how she brought up Shannon's name, and to hear Shannon tell Jen, "Thank you." This is my theory, and I could be alone. I don't give a fuck. I believe Shannon had that same conversation with Heather, and I believe based on the fact that I now know Shannon gave people ultimatums, I believe she gave Heather one, and I think Heather was like Jen and did what was best to continue filming with Shannon.
And
That's what I believe.
I disagree with that because Heather and I
Okay.
have texted back and forth since that whole Watch What Happens Live. We have texted back and forth, and we're gonna have a conversation about it. It's just I'm in Missouri now. We haven't had the time to actually have a phone call, but she did say she's sorry, and she did not mean it any of that way. She did a long, lengthy, like I sent her a text this long, she sent me one back this long. I love the girl, and I know that we all mess up in this industry. And the problem with being on national television is you do say things. I mean, look at me. My mouth goes faster than my brain a lot of the time. So I'm easy to forgive people on that when they've owned the mistake and said they're sorry. Heather did. And it was from the bottom of her heart. It was, Alexis, I should have just ended it at that I was at Kat's thing, but I just started talking, and I don't mean that. I do love you, John, Terry, and I do love you guys. Like, like I don't know what was on her mind that day to keep going, but Shannon did not have any control over Heather. But yes, she has control over Jen, or did.
Okay.
Now I think,
Well,
now I don't think Shannon does, because Jen is reaching back out to me and talking to me. So I don't think Shannon ends up having the control that she thought she had on Jen. I just wish Jen would have had a backbone back in April, because she would have been at my wedding 2 weeks ago had that
yeah.
happened.
Yeah. And also, listen, also think it's what you said too that I've been saying for years that listen, some of these shows are alliances. And listen, and I'm also going to defend the girls too. It is very hard to film these shows. I mean, Alexis, you know that.
I know.
And and what I want the general audience to understand is this. Imagine going to work and no one talks to you. And you have to do that every day for 8 hours a day. It's tough.
And
It's
sometimes go
tough.
on a trip, and sometimes go on a trip where you're together 3 or 4 days straight. And sometimes you film 10 or 12 hours and you only get an hour break. I mean, I know, Carlos, that's why I have a capacity to forgive and move on, and a compassion for these women, because I've been in the same shoes. And the ones that have a good heart, and the ones that that apologize, and I can tell they really mean it, and talk to me off camera, and we still meet up and do things. Those are the ones that really didn't mean it, and it was a TV moment, like I've said before. It's the
Mhm.
other times that you can't move past it. But I do feel compassion for these women, because it's tough. It's a tough job. And you do say things. I mean, think about this, Carlos. Every American, or every human, not American, every human says something that they go, oh, why did I say it like that? That's not even what I mean. It happens in life
Yeah.
daily with people. So on national television, you're actually being videoed, and it's going to air. It stinks. It's like, it's hard. It's a lot of pressure, and you don't always mean everything you say. It comes out
Yeah.
wrong. Everyone's human, and so that's why I tend to be able to forgive and move on.
Yeah.
But I do have a line, Carlos, and when that line gets crossed for the final time, I am still cordial, but I don't go back. And so it takes me a long time to get there, but when I am, that's the end. So right now I have the Jen and Heather are not at the line yet. They're just, they both didn't make the wisest choice. They both kind of apologized. I mean, Jen hasn't really, 'cause she doesn't even know I feel this way. We haven't had the talk yet, because I just watched
Yeah.
the show last night. So I barely processed it in the 6 hours I slept to even be like, oh my gosh, now it all makes sense. And I go back to my text, and it's like, Detective Alexis coming back to work here.
Well, I love Detective Alexis. And look, I'm happy you were able to clear things up. And look, the ladies are in Amsterdam, and what we see next week's episode is going to be, of course, some
Good.
drama. Oh,
Well,
Alexis.
okay. What do you think about the cook? Okay, so I really want to go to Amsterdam, by the way. What do you think
Me
about
too.
the cupcake, or what was it, a muffin, the
The
space
space cake.
muffin? Space cake. What do you think? First of all, how much of it would you eat? Because I'm scared. When I was watching the girls, they were taking another bite. Like one of them was taking a few bites. I'm like, I would probably take one and wait an hour because I would be scared crapless about what it was going to do to me. But like,
No, the thing with me, I I'm not a cannabis person.
oh,
I am so afraid of how I would act taking or dabbling into a space cake. So I listen. I'm such a fucking nerd. I probably wouldn't do
that
it,
makes
but
me want to see it even more,
I
Carlos,
know,
with you.
I know. I don't drink. I don't smoke. So the idea of me like eating a space cake is sort of like scary. But how, but you're like me. Your personality is on 100 anyway. I would love to see you in it.
Well, I
You
mean,
ever tried one?
John and I've taken a gummy before. I'm not a big cannabis person at all either. My mom liked to smoke the joint, and I thankfully got to smoke one with her. Right, well, a couple puffs. I'm not going to say a joint, but like I smoked a couple puffs before she ever passed away because I used to ridicule her and be like, "Stop doing that stuff, Mom. It's so bad for you." And then as I matured and got older, I remember going to her house and I just landed 2.5 hour drive. It's like 6 hours to get to her, and she was like, let's just have a puff. And I'm like, I'm 35 now or 40 or whatever. So I'm like, okay. Oh honey, you would die. I was laughing my butt off, okay, which I already laugh a lot. And I thought that I was like the room's spinning. Like I was but then John and I have done a gummy, I think maybe twice in our 2 years together. And we're just fun. It's fun and funny. We're definitely not around the kids when we do that. It's an adult night, and we pretty much stay in the house because it's like you don't want to be out with that. But I'm not a cannabis person either. But I think it's kind of fun. And watching the
Totally.
girls, watching Heather and Shannon on it, and they were stoned. So I was like, this is hysterical. I want to
Before
see
I
you.
let
I want to see you high.
I know. I'm so nervous. I'm so nervous. So I know I got a few minutes left with you. Before I let you
Yes.
go,
Yes.
the OC girls taped their reunion last week. Did you hear anything that happened?
Um, I'm a vault, Carlos.
Ah!
But we'll have fun recapping. Okay.
Okay, well, okay, wait. Are you the stuff you heard? Good stuff.
Well, I mean, it's gonna be a
For,
good
for,
re.
go ahead. Go ahead.
No, ask me what. No, no, go ahead.
Good stuff for the audience, but maybe not necessarily for the cast.
Yeah, but isn't that the way every reunion goes? I've never seen a reunion that's good for the cast, Carlos. That's like the stupidest thing you've ever said. There's never a reunion. Hell would freeze over before there's a good reunion for the cast, okay? You don't make that money to be on entertainment on TV and have a good reunion for yourself, buddy.
That's
you are
where
wearing you are wearing Depends to the reunion because you crap your pants all the time. You are taking your Red Bull because it's, and I mean, no, there's no good reunion for the cast, but it's gonna be a good reunion.
Okay,
Yeah.
you know what's so funny, Alexis? That's what Carlos King put on his what? Producer hat. Because that was such a producer line. You're so right. You're like, Carlos, it's good for you fucking producers, not necessarily the cat.
Well, you know that. You were just waiting to see what I would say.
I love
That's
it. I
all.
love it. I love it. I love it. I love you.
Well,
Enjoy.
hold on,
Yes.
because you have a lot of friends in high places. Have you heard anything?
I heard it's going to be a good show for us to recap.
Yeah, it is. I might need to bring 2 Red Bulls for that one, honey. And we might need to go on that. We might cheers, by the way. Here, cheers, cheers. We might need to go an hour and a half on that one. I know we try to keep it at 45. That one might take us to an hour 10 minutes. I'm not sure.
I
We'll
could
have to see where
spend
it takes us.
days, sister. I could spend days with you. So trust me. Let's block out the fucking time for that, Alexis Jansen. Okay.
Woo! I love when you say
Yes,
that. Say it again.
Alexis Jansen.
Uh, we're the Jansons. It's on Spotify. We had a guy.
Come
We had
on.
a guy bust out a rhyme for us and surprised the heck out of our whole audience. And my brother calls me after the wedding and is like, "Sis, that song, I can't get it out of my head." I'm like, "I know. It's so like I can't even get the beat now because I haven't heard it for 2 weeks. But it's like we're the Jansons, and it's like he was just so freaking epic because he's been John's private chef for like 14 years or something. 16 dinners John's had with him. So I'm like
Damn.
he knows him. So it's just funny. It's
So
good
I
stuff.
love it. I love it. Listen, I love it. I love you. Thank you so much. Have a great weekend, and I will see you next week, my darling.
Bye, guys.
Bye, boo.